Hindi pa tapos ang Silicon Valley issue about the SVB Bank. Meron na naman tayong panibagong jitters that is actually currently rocking the stability of the major European bank industry, particularly about Credit Suisse. What's happening with CS, Miranda? Pag-usapan natin. Shares in the Swiss lender plunged more than 30% at one point on Wednesday to a record low of almost 1.4 euro a share after its top shareholder, the Saudi National Bank or SNB, ruled out providing it with fresh funding because of regulations na nag-cap sa stake nito to around 9.9% or 10%. SNB Chairman Ammar Al-Qudairi told Reuters nung Credit Suisse has a very strong bank and unlikely itong mangailangan ng more cash after raising 4 billion Swiss francs or 3.59 billion euros to fund a major restructuring plan in the autumn of last year. Pero itong funding cap comments na ito ay nagtakot sa mga investors na nagkaroon ng pag-aalala na it could limit the emergency cash from investors in the Middle East. That compounded panic about potential weaknesses of the bank across a global banking sector is still reeling after the SVB collapse last week, as well as the fears of continuing contagion in the Swiss lender, which is actually the Europe's 17th largest lender by assets as of today, is actually far larger than SVB, and ito ay potentially magkakaroon ng systemic problem to the global financial system. Nga pala, Miranda, if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to click on like and subscribe so you're updated for everything about cryptocurrency, technical analysis, fundamentals, and these types of new knowledge for you in crypto. Maraming salamat. So, Miranda, how worried should we be? The Bank of England reiterated its statement that the UK banking system is actually not at risks and actually remains safe and sound and well capitalized as of today, March 16. According sa article ng Guardian, naunawaan nila that the staff at the bank are actually continuing to monitor the developments in the financial sector closely. However, stocks in the major European banks also plunged on Wednesday as the traders took fright. Syempre, mga risk on risk off scenario. However, it is actually important na malaman natin that the share prices of the current stock are actually reflecting only investor sentiments rather than the actual strength of the balance sheets. Market movements can cause customers to panic and pull cash. It can actually create a run on deposits that's actually more risky for smaller banks that rely more heavily on client cash. However, for larger banks tulad ng Credit Suisse, they're actually meant to be in much stronger position, in part due to government's rules and regulators' annual stress testing brought in after the financial crisis in 2008. So, totoo bang nagwo-work ang mga rules na ito after the post-financial crisis? After noong 2008, regulators around the world introduced yung tinatawag nilang tighter restrictions, particularly for banks, that needs to be done and is actually important for the global financial system. Most of the central banks today and national regulators have introduced yung tinatawag nilang annual stress testing to check whether kaya ba nilang ma-withstand yung severe economic shocks and market turmoil while supporting their customers. In the worst case scenario, Miranda, systemically important banks are actually meant to have enough capital and so-called living wills in place to ensure that they can fail in a relatively orderly way, unlike in 2008 or even earlier. However, these living wills have yet to be tested in real-life banking failure. Yung Switzerland regulator na si FINMA, they actually approved Credit Suisse emergency wind-down plans last year, but said some of the plans were still not adequate. Pero ang tanong, bumabagsak din ang mga US banks. Is this a rerun of 2008? Actually, there's a lot of panic over the CS or Credit Suisse issue after the collapse of the crypto lender Silvergate last Thursday, VB noong Friday, and the New York-based Signature on Sunday. However, Credit Suisse problems are actually also relatively unique and not new, with a string of major financial losses and scandals that have worried investors and fueled a recent client exodus. As of today, Credit Suisse customers are primarily wealthy clients and the businesses rather than everyday savers who have been pulling money from the bank for months. At this particular case, it was not immediately clear on Wednesday kung yung client ba nito ay nakapag-withdraw ng malaki or are they actually able to influence itong mga client potential runs na ito and the share of the plunging share price. Miranda, thank you nga pala sa mga nanood ng ating video about what is inflation explained in 2023. Maraming salamat kay Ronrick Mangiat, kay Theron, kay Alistair, Densky TV Official, Maymay, kay Kim, and of course kay Japets. Mga Miranda, siya nga pala, kung meron kayo mga comments or suggestions, i-leave nyo lang sa ating comment section and I'll make time to read them them at the latter part of this video. So tapusin mo itong video so you could see, baka makita mo yung mga comments mo na sinashoutout natin. More of this kay Miranda. I will give you more information about what's happening in the market. Don't forget to click on like and subscribe to our channel for you to be updated for everything but crypto all in one channel. Maraming salamat kay Miranda and I love you 3000.
Subscribe, like, follow, and share. Sige na please, Ka Miranda.